I think it's pretty important today where we are trying to understand the results of this project, like Gestire 2020, a project the ministry is really interested in. As I was saying, it's pretty interesting and also very clever to understand the future of Lombardy. We also need to give context to these important regional initiatives and trying to put them in a regional framework roadmap. Uh, this is a sort of roadmap for all of us. This is the new strategy biodiversity to 2030. First of all, I'm going to explain some things in a very quickly way because I don't want you to get bored. But of course, if you want to deepen what I am about to say, of course, you can go to the ministry website where you will be able to find a better description and more details. So why are we still talking about a biodiversity strategy even after 30 years of Rio Convention? Well, because at the European and Italian level, the previous strategies did not achieve the results we were expecting. If we have a look and we look at what is around us, and even in our own experience, we've got so many numbers that these results haven't been achieved yet. Here you can find the PDS, the Natural Capital Report. There are so many facts and figures, but we have also started being interested in economic numbers. So we lose biodiversity, and of course we lose some natural systems that are essential for us to survive. Unfortunately, if we talk in economic terms, we can understand that losing biodiversity is synonym of losing money. Because as Dr. Laffy was saying before, of course, everything is intertwined. So in order to face this loss of biodiversity, the Commission adopted a new European strategy for biodiversity. The name is Let's Get Nature Back in Our Lives. I would like to share with you two thoughts because to me they are important to understand the national strategy. We can see here some new approaches. So beyond the two main points, the two strategic aims, so expanding protected areas network and restoration of ecosystems, there are also new interesting points that to me can be the keys in order to entail this changement. We have understood that, taking into account the failures of past strategies, well, we have understood that we actually need to improve our governance. What does it mean? It means being able to work together at different levels in very difficult situations, of course, and biodiversity needs this transversality engagement. Moreover, the new point the strategy is working on, the new strategy 2030 is working on, is funding and investments. You've got an amazing opportunity, thanks to this two-day conference, to think about it. So to think about investment and funding that cannot just be be public. And then there is also a One Health approach. So being able to understand that the health of our environment is linked to our own health. As we all know, this strategy can be put in the framework of the Green New Deal initiatives, and then we will try to understand how impactful it can be. But this is a package of initiatives in order to face these problems. Of course, you know them very well. There are many different situations. So from farm to fork, that is about agricultural aspects, soil. So there are many different tools and programs that go towards one direction in order to achieve a goal. And so what is the translation of that European strategy into our national strategy? Well, first of all, I must admit that this work was huge. I am a very small part of it because some colleagues of mine have actually worked more than me. And in the front line, this work is a great achievement for us, for Masa, and for all the actors. We have actually shared all the path towards this moment. ISPRA, for example, that actually helped us a lot from a scientific point of view. This work lasts 2 years. That thanks to the last law adopted on the 3rd of August 2023, the end of it. So there have been some communications between the state and the region in order to put into act, and this strategy actually reflects the urgency of having an impact, a strong impact on how to stop losing biodiversity. Other themes that we can find in strategy, of course, we all know the main focus, so the nature. We can also find other aims. So, for example, we pay attention to the economic development and how to face climate change. So try to take actions in order to mitigate climate change. Then the promotion of human health that goes together with defending the nature, and also being focused on awareness. It's important to create, thanks to all these initiatives and projects, a high level of awareness. Moreover, another thing that has already been said before, but I would like to talk about again, because it's in line with the 2020 project, and also the new project that is about to start, a strategic project, is of course the transversality of the biodiversity theme, and the approach that we have adopted to structure this strategy is being synergetic towards the and among all the other strategies. We wanted to read in a transversal way other tools in order to create one single strategy that actually encompassed all these ideas. Well, the national strategy like the European strategy aims. So the two main ones, the two main strategic objectives were the reinforcement of protected areas and restoration of ecosystems. And these two aims I'm sorry, but it's pretty difficult to explain it through these slides. But if you are curious, you could go on the Mother website and study it more. By the way, these two objectives have 18 specific targets and 8 environmental domain protected areas, species, habitat, and ecosystems, food, agriculture systems, forestry, urban green. And in the PNRR has become a very important theme because it connects what we can find in cities and in the nature, and then internal waters, sea and soil. Each of these domain is declined with other actions and sub-action. I'm not going to deepen all these points because, as you can see, it's a sort of Chinese box that can be quite difficult to understand. But of course, we are absolutely in line with the activities taken by Gestire 2020 and Nata Connect. Because of course, the aim is always the same, so being able to complete Rete Natura 2000 and its full implementation. Many of the colleagues I usually work with, especially in the Lombardy region, know it very well. The focus on this aim is this one. This was just to give you a sort of an example of the Chinese box we have created, and these specific targets have actions and sub-actions. And the idea was to give some details and not to make things difficult, but actually to find responsibilities and a responsible actor in all these actions in order to map what we need to do. Here we can find not only the structure, but also the complex objective of our strategy. We talked about it before. The first one is, of course, funding, together with regional colleagues in the municipality. I think that actually it might be a presentation of Marcia Conte, where she will talk to you about how to create these regional paths that are some micro programs of funding allocated to other tools, but the aim is always to implement Nature 2000, Natura 2000, and thanks to this tool, we managed to find in different levels how much was available and how many fundings we could have in order to finance all different objectives. Life actually played an important role, and I might say that it's probably the first of the class. Life has a virtuous experience. Life managed to find some aspects that are actually perfect and to complement the strategy. It's a very interesting tool that we really need to account in our actions. Why? Also because, of course, we also have this engagement done by the European Commission, where 7.5% of the EU budget to allocate to the biodiversity domain. Having money is not the only solution, but it can actually help a lot, and having a roadmap to us could represent a huge opportunity. This slide is very difficult, maybe cannot even be read, But let's go back to the other main point, governance. In the previous strategy, the previous strategy was probably not effective because governance was not clear. We are talking about a strategy 2030 with a vision 2050 with so many different actions and sub-actions. So it's a very important, difficult scheme. And we also need to record all the achievements resulting from other strategies. And so we need also to invite other statewide bodies and entities that can actually help us. One of them can be, for example, ISPA. This is we need to have a table on which even some associations, category associations and different actors could sit and talk. We also need to have a coordination secretary, and at the same time, the national network tool must be improved. Why? Because to us, network has two important things to do. The first one is monitoring, so keeping track of the actions and creating a sort of dashboard thanks to which we can understand whether we have achieved or not the different and several objectives. And on the other hand, getting access to data and communication must become easier. This is another tool. This is a tool that we really need to implement. On the 24th of October in Rome, and there is the Orto Botanico, where we will be talking about this tool in order to widespread it and to reinforce it. So governance is pretty difficult. In the board, we have 38 members, ministries, regions, and I do hope all the initiatives taken by the Lombardy region can be explained in the Comitato di Gestione in the board in order to achieve the results. And then the consultation table where we can talk about it. So what have we thought about our future? This strategy that is difficult, as you have probably understood, must have an implementation plan and program. We need to understand the time frames, the actors that could implement all these strategies and activities. And this program, this implementation program, is difficult to read. It's a difficult program. In this moment, people are writing it. So it must be approved. And as I was saying before, in this program, we will identify the responsible for every action and sub-action. So little by little, we managed to streamline difficult actions by creating sub-actions and at the same time also finding the implementation guarantee. This is just an example of what we want to split actions and sub-actions. In this case, we are talking about the first strategic objective, that is completing Rete Natura 2000. There is just one sub-action, but we need to identify the kind of funding we will receive, the actors, the responsible. And we want to respect these dates. And so in 2026, we want to do a sort of test, a midterm test, let's say, in order to understand whether what we have done up to that moment what is okay or not. I hope you have understood the strategy. It is important to take advantage of this project and the SNAP project.
Ottima opportunità per cercare di contribuire alla strategia. Quindi, come espresso,
as I have said to Alessandra Norcini, we are very happy to support the SNAP project. And we are also very curious to accompany the Lombardy region and other entities in order to let this experience become a national experience. So thank you very much.